Hello, welcome to another episode of Impact Nuggets. So good to have you. So good to have you here. If you're joining us for the first time on Impact Nuggets, we discuss all things value, all things to do with value, to do with influence, to do with success, to do with impact. To impact. How can we impact more? How can we impact more people? Not just those around us, but also those even further away from us. At the end of the day, that's what counts. That's what matters the most, right? You being able to accomplish the things that you're meant to accomplish whilst you're on the earth, because we're all not going to be here forever. Of course. So anyway, before we go into this evening's discussions, I want you to please don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, and if you're also on Facebook, please do not forget to hit the follow button so that you don't miss out on the content that we're going to be producing. Not just to do with Impact Nuggets, but also to do with several other things that we're going to be producing. Very exciting stuff in the weeks to come. So thank you so much. Now let's go straight in. So last week, beg your pardon. So last week we started off with pick yourself up. How to pick yourself up. And we looked at how if we don't learn to pick ourselves up from disappointing situations, then we basically risk being completely out of the race. If you're not part of the race whatsoever, if you don't finish the race, your chances of getting something is zero. So very, very important. But before we look at some of the other keys to coming out of discouragement, because last week we looked at the first one, which was to be thankful. To be thankful. If you missed that, please go back and watch Pick Yourself Up Part 1. That was what we looked at last week, and we looked at some really, really good stuff. So to start off with, I just want to say this very, very quickly. When it comes to discouragement, if you look at the word discouragement, you've got this, you've got this, and you've got encouragement, right? Discouragement, and you find in there that there's the word courage. The word courage is there. So if you think about it, the word discouragement is when Mr. This decides to come and take your courage away from you being able to fulfill your goals, or to fulfill your plans, your vision, the things that you have written down, the things that you desire to accomplish in 2023, even this month of October, in 2024 and the years to come. So discouragement is really there to slow people down, and also to stop people from being able to achieve their desired goals. Very, very, very important. That's why we need to be very, very mindful of these things. And I actually say that, and I believe this, that discouragement can sometimes be worse than a thief. It can be worse than a thief. Why? Because if someone steals from you, if you're discouraged, the likelihood of you getting up and actually retrieving what has been stolen is pretty much zero. It's very, very slim. However, someone who is encouraged will be able to get up and at least give it a fight, give it an effort to be able to get back what has been stolen. So with encouragement, you can take back lost ground. When someone is encouraged, they can take back even opportunities that they thought were completely gone. Opportunities that they thought were completely out of the equation. So that's why we're looking at this, because we need to know how to come out of discouraging situations, right? We need to make sure that we don't stay in discouragement for a long time, because the longer you stay in there, the further, the longer your goals are being delayed, right? The longer they're being delayed from actually coming to pass. So the second point, the second key to coming out of discouragement is what I call having the eyes of hope. Having the eyes of hope. When you have the eyes of hope, you see possibilities in all situations. You see possibility in every situation, right? It doesn't matter what what was said, what happened, or what didn't happen. Yeah. In some cases, you still see hope, right? You still see hope, and that is where it begins. Seeing hope. There's the story of Thomas Edison. I know some of you will be familiar with Thomas Edison, a very, very influential inventor. He's the one who he came up with the with the light bulb. Basically, he invented that. But what many people don't know about Thomas Edison is that when he was little, there was a time when he came back from school with a letter in his hand for his mom from his teacher, and his mom opened it and began to read it. And as she was reading the letter, tears began to run down her cheeks, and little Edison noticed that, and so he turned around and went to his mom to find out, Mom, what's wrong? So his mom said, "Oh, your teacher said that you're a genius." So she began off crying, and then she started laughing, and then she said to him, "Your teacher said that you're a genius. And the school doesn't have enough resources for you, and the school doesn't even have teachers that are good enough for you." And so that was that. So sometime later in the future, he came across this letter, the same letter that that was sent to his mom, and what the letter actually read was Thomas Edison is mentally ill. Thomas Edison is mentally ill. So basically, keep him away from the school, and you carry on teaching him. So that was what happened. So but the point is that history tells us that this little Thomas Edison, who his teachers had written off, who said that he was mentally ill, and wasn't basically fit to be in their school, wasn't fit enough to be in their school, ended up becoming a genius and impacting the world for generations. So, the thing is that his mom had the eyes of hope. Why I call the eyes of hope? She refused to see what the teachers of her son Thomas were seeing about him, right? And she refused to be discouraged. She refused to stay discouraged, as a result of whatever it was that they were saying to her concerning her child. And so this evening, my question as well is, how many Thomas Edison has the world lost because they had parents who did not know how to come out of discouragement? They had parents who bought a lie, right? They had parents who simply didn't know how to have, the eyes of hope. They simply didn't know how to do that, right? So, imagine where the world would be, right? If we had more parents, who were basically like Thomas Edison's mom, right? So point number 2, eyes of hope. Now the third one is to think of to be a people person. Think about people. Don't make everything be about yourself. You're not the only person on planet Earth, right? And you're not the only person in your community, and you're not the only person in your family, right? There are other people as well, right? And so when you think like that, one of the things that that you should also be thinking about is what will happen to these other people. What will happen to these other people, like like in the case of Thomas Edison's mom. What will Thomas Edison be missing out on if I stay discouraged? If I'm discouraged and stay discouraged for a long period of time, what is happening to other people? What are we robbing other people of? What joy, what excitement, what happiness are we robbing other people of when we refuse to come out of discouragement, and we stay even depressed. We stay depressed and we think that all hope is lost, and and the whole world is just coming to an end now. So the question is, how many people are missing out? How many people are missing out on the smile that you could have given them? How many people are missing out on help that you could have given them? How many people are missing out on things of value that you also have? And that is one of the dangers of discouragement. When people are discouraged, they fail to see the value on the inside of them. They fail to see themselves as valuable people, and it takes someone who sees themselves as a valuable person to be able to give value to others, right? And yeah, so it's very, very important when you're discouraged. Remember, this this takes away the courage for you to be able to get up, and to walk and to run, and to be able to get things done. So please, please, please make sure that even when things are looking, doom and gloom, and it looks like there is no hope out of the situation, think about other people that you can, be of help to, that you could that you could also be a blessing to, right? Think of people like that, because no matter what situation you're in, there is someone you could help. Right, there is always someone that you could be of value to. So that is another key. The fourth key that I'm going to give you is it's also very, very important. Is to maintain a motivational system. Maintain a motivational system. So what do I mean by that? Putting things in place, putting strategies in place, putting mechanisms in place for you to be able to stay within a cycle of encouragement rather than a cycle of discouragement. Very, very important. That we keep ourselves, we put things in place. So one of these things could be speaking to yourself. Speaking to yourself. I know it sounds crazy, when people hear this for the first time. What do you mean speaking to myself? I'm not crazy. Well, the thing is, if you're not going to do that, whether you know it or not, consciously, there are people talking to you every single day. Every single day you get up, there's someone talking to you. It could be the news. It could be a television program that is trying to propagate a particular narrative. It could be people around you, people in your home, people in your workplace. It could even be advertisements, things that you may see as you're walking down the street. All these things are speaking to you. All these things are saying something to you, and it's your responsibility to master how to say positive things to yourself, how to say things to yourself concerning where you're going, concerning the goals that you need to achieve. Yes, I can achieve this thing. This thing may be impossible for many people, but I can do this thing. There are some people who are depressed because of things that people say to them, such as you're ugly, or it could be so many different things. But let's just take that one as an example. It's a very common one. Why can't you just say to yourself, I'm the prettiest thing the world has ever seen, right? I'm the most handsome guy ever. I'm the most beautiful. Who says you can't say that to yourself? Who says you can't say that about yourself? Because if you're not saying that, someone else is going to say something that you may not like, and that may be taking you away from your desired goals. So learn to speak to yourself daily, right? Learn to speak to yourself daily. Put things in place. Another thing is to what engage in activities that excite you. Engage in activities that excite you. Whenever you engage yourself in activities that don't excite you, they suck out energy, right? They drain you. They drain a lot of strength out of you. But on the contrary, when you focus on activities that excite you, what actually happens is that your body, it becomes energized, right? Your body becomes energized, and you receive strength to be able to accomplish goals that you may have written down for the week, for the day, for the month, for the year, for years to come, in years to come. So very, very important. Engage. For some, it could be walking. For others, it could be running, going for a jog. For others, it could be working out at the gym. For others, it could be reading. Others, it could be writing. For some, it could be, just going outside and doing some gardening, in your back garden. Find things that excite you, things that excite you. You are you. So it has to be specific to you. Find those things. The other thing as well is that you need to keep your future in front of you. What do I mean by that? You have to always keep your vision in front of you. Always keep your vision in front of you, no matter where you find yourself. Always keep your vision in front of you. Do not be, the moment you take it away from you, you start heading towards the wrong path. You start heading towards, paths that are not really going to contribute to you achieving, your desired goals, in life, the things that you really want to be able to do. So keep those things in front of you. If something discouraging comes up, keep that goal in front of you. Keep those pictures in front of you. Keep things that point to your future. For your future, to your future in terms of your vision. Always keep those things in front of you. Right? Keep those things. Those things will motivate you. They will energize you in very difficult times. Very, very, very important. Another one as well that I'll say, which is probably going to be our last one, is create an atmosphere, right? Create a positive atmosphere around you. Be intentional about the environment that you create, right? It could be in the car. If you're driving, what are you listening to? If you're driving, what are you listening to? Are you listening to depressive stuff from the news? Very depressing things. If you're at home, what are you watching? Some people are just glued to the news 24/7. You always find things to be discouraged about when you turn on the news, and when you turn on the TV as well. So it is your responsibility. You have to design your environment, because your environment is what creates is what creates the constant cycle of energy. The constant cycle of energy, and also the sight, right? The sight that you need in order for you to stay focused and not to be distracted by disappointing news, actions, things that should have happened that did not happen, or things that happened that shouldn't have happened. Yeah, things that happened that shouldn't have happened, or things that didn't happen that should have happened. Yeah, I believe I got that right. So very, very important. Make sure that you stay away from negative environments. Keep away from them. Always be in control of your environment. Be in control of your atmosphere. Very, very important. And I'm going to finish off with this. It's not over until it's truly over. It's not over until it's truly over. And it's not truly over until you decide that it's over. I will say that again. It's not over until it's truly over. And it's not truly over until you decide that it is over, right? And so be encouraged by that. No matter what situation you find yourself in right now, you need to find the eyes of hope. Make sure that you maintain the eyes of hope. Be thankful. Think about other people as well. Maintain that motivational system on a daily basis, or some may be on a weekly basis, right? So keep that motivational system going. Thank you so much for joining, and please join us for episode 3 next week. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you all. Have a wonderful week. Bye bye.